Welcome to my channel Crazy to Learn. Today we will discuss physics questions from previous high school contractual teacher recruitment exam, and these questions are from 6th March second shift. Okay, let's start. Our first question is, the mirror which produces a virtual image and is always magnified is a plano-convex mirror or convex mirror or plane mirror or concave mirror. It is a direct question, but you should have to think it mindfully, otherwise you will get a wrong answer. We know that generally in our textbook we have a brief discussion about concave mirror and convex mirror, and we also know that convex mirror always produces virtual and erect image. So undoubtedly the student will choose the convex mirror, but convex mirror is a wrong answer, because first is mentioned the mirror which produces a virtual image, but at the next point it is written as is always magnified. Convex mirror always produces virtual erect image, correct, but it is always a very small size or diminished one. So which one is the correct one? If we will go for the concave and if we will go for the plane mirror always produces virtual image, sometimes it always produces real image, but we know that plane mirror the image size and object size equal. Yes or no? If we will go for the concave mirror, we know that when the object is placed at a different position, we will get real and inverted image in case of concave mirror. But when the object is placed between pole and focus, in front of a concave mirror, at that case we will get an virtual and erect image when the object is placed between pole and focus. If we take a concave mirror like this and object is placed between pole and focus, at that case we will get a virtual and erect image which is always a magnified one. So which one is the correct option? The concave mirror is the correct option. Clear? Our next question is, if the distance between two masses is doubled, then the gravitational force between them is reduced to a quarter, is reduced to half, doubled, or becomes 4 times. So what is the formula when two masses are there and the distance between them is given to you? What is the formula for the gravitational force? We know that the formula for the gravitational force F is equal to capital G into m1 m2 by r square. m1 m2 are the two masses, r is the distance between the two masses, and capital G is the universal gravitational constant, and F is the gravitational force. This is the formula. So from this formula, what we are getting here? Gravitational force F inversely proportional to r square distance. Yes or no? If we will take capital G is a universal gravitational constant, and if we will take m1 m2 as constant, as for a throughout the observation the mass of the two bodies remains constant. If G, m1, m2 all three factors are constant, then F inversely proportional to 1 by r square. So what you are getting here, F inversely proportional to 1 by r square means when F increase, F increases, distance decreases. Otherwise you can say when you decrease the distance between the two masses, the gravitational force will be more. If you increase the distance between the two masses, the gravitational force will be low. According to square, F inversely proportional to y square. So it will, when we will increase the distance, the gravitational force will decrease as a factor of square. Okay. So as it is asked to you, the distance between the two masses is doubled. So if we will F inversely proportional to 1 by F inversely proportional to r square. So I written here inversely. This is the sign of proportionality. If it is directly proportional, we will directly write. If x directly proportional to y, then we will write like this. If x inversely proportional to y, then we will write as reciprocal of y. Okay, this is the representation rule. Okay, x proportionality sign y, that means x directly proportional to y. X proportionality sign 1 by y, that means it is inversely proportional. So here what it represents, the gravitational force is inversely proportional to r square. Okay, clear? So now we will go for the solution. F inversely proportional to r square, that means f1 by f2 is equal to r2 square by r1 square. Okay. So if for the second case, let us think that f1 is the gravitational force for the first case, r1 is the distance of the first case, f2 is the gravitational force for the second case, and r2 is the respective distance for the second case. So in the second case, the distance is doubled, that means r2 is 2r1. So put here, what we will get, f1 by f2 is equal to, in the place of r2 just write 2r1 square divided by r1 square. So we will get 4r1 square divided by r1 square, r1 square cancel, then we will get f1 by f2 is equal to 4 by 1. So what will be the f2? We want the second case gravitational force. Which one is the new one? The second case gravitational force. The new gravitational force will be f1 by 4. This is the 1/4 of the gravitational force of the first case. That means पहले से जो था gravitational force, what is given to you gravitational force, now it is 1/4. That means which one is the correct one? Option is reduced to a quarter. Now the new gravitational force is 1/4 of the previous gravitational force. Otherwise directly you can solve like this, f inversely proportional to r square. Directly short way we can write, in the place of r the distance is doubled, just in the place of r just take 2. So we will get 1 by 2 square, that means 1 by 4. That means it is the 1/4 of the previous case. Directly short way we can go like this. If when it is directly proportional, then it will be 4 times, not 1/4. It will be 4 times. As it is inversely proportional here, so we have to take 1 by 2 square. It depends upon the square factor. So 2 square, r square, in the place of r, as the distance is doubled, in the place of r put 2 square is equal to 4. So 1/4. So the new gravitational force will be the 1/4 of the first one, or it will be reduced. 1/4 means it will be reduced. If 4 times, then it will be increased. As it is 1/4, so it is written here, it is reduced to a quarter. 1/4 means quarter. 1/4 means quarter. As 1 by 2 is called half, similarly 1 by 4 is called quarter. Clear? Next question is, elasticity is the property of material by virtue of which it tends to regain its original shape when the applied force is removed, occupies minimum surface area, is always equilibrium, tends to deform without any rupture when the applied force is removed. So we know the directly definition of the elasticity is in maximum textbook. The same definition is written like this: elasticity is the property of material by virtue of which it tends to regain its original shape when the applied force is removed. So by the definition we directly know the option A is the correct one. Then the second option, occupies minimum surface area. It is the concept of surface tension. It is the concept of surface tension. Okay, it is not the concept of elasticity. It is the concept of surface tension. Is always equilibrium. It will be not the answer. Tends to deform without any rupture when the applied force is removed. So it will not the answer. So the correct answer is, it tends to regain its original shape. What is elasticity? It is the property, it is the characteristic of a material by virtue of which it regain its original shape. When we will apply some force, we will get a deform in its original shape and size. Then when we will remove the deforming force, then it will regain its original shape. It is the property of elasticity, we know. So by the definition, option A is the correct option. Clear? Our next question is, a body falls freely under gravity. Its speed is small v when it has lost an amount u of the gravitational energy, then its mass is. So when an object falls freely, we know its kinetic energy is changed to potential energy. Here similar way, the amount of energy is lost. So what amount is lost here? The kinetic energy is lost. So when a object of mass m moving with velocity v falls freely, so it lost its kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy is converted to potential energy. According to the law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It will change from one form to another form. So that when it moves downward freely, falls freely, its kinetic energy is changed to potential energy. So the amount of energy lost is equal to the loss in the kinetic energy. So what is the kinetic energy? We know the kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. This kinetic energy half mv square is lost because this kinetic energy is converted to the potential energy. So when it has lost an amount u of the gravitational energy, so we can write this gravitational energy u is equal to half mv square. Okay, this u gravitational energy is equal to the lost kinetic energy, u is equal to half mv square. So in this way you can write 2u is equal to mv square and m is equal to 2u by v square, and it is asked to you, then its mass is, it is asked to you what is the mass is. So what is the mass we are getting here? The mass small m is equal to 2u by v square. Option C is the correct one. Option C is the correct one. Clear? Our next question is, the quantities that get transmitted in the propagation direction when a longitudinal wave propagates through a medium. So what is longitudinal wave? We know that the longitudinal wave is the type of wave in which the particle vibrate along the same direction of propagation of wave. The particle will vibrate along the same direction of propagation, and in this wave the mass is not transmitted. The mass is not transmitted. So in the first option, what is given to you? Energy, mass, linear movement, mass is given. So from the very beginning I cleared to you, mass is not transmitted through a medium in case of longitudinal wave. As mass is given to you in this option, so this option is not the correct one. In the second option also mass is given, in the third option mass is also given, and the fourth option only energy and linear momentum is given to you. So option D is the correct option. Option D is the correct one. So energy and linear momentum get transmitted in case of longitudinal wave when it propagates through a medium. Clear? Our next question, with the increase in temperature, the frequency of sound in an organ pipe is found to be erratic, decrease, be constant or increase? So what will be the answer? So it is the direct. You have to remember how the different factors affecting the frequency of wave in organ pipe. I am writing here how the factors affecting frequency of wave in organ pipe. How the different factors affecting frequency N depends inversely upon the L. Here L representing length of the column, length of air column of organ pipe. N represent frequency. N also depends inversely upon the R, where R is the radius of the air column of organ pipe. N directly depend upon the square root of temperature. N depends directly upon the square root of temperature. N depends directly upon the square root of pressure. N depends inversely upon the square root of rho. N depends inversely square root of rho, where rho represent density. Okay, so frequency depends upon the density inversely, the square root factor. Okay, N depends upon the inversely depends upon 1 by square root rho. Okay, inversely depends upon the square root rho, so density. And N depends directly upon the V. V is velocity. So you should have to remember these things. And how I got this relation? I require lots of time to explain all these things. So for this video, you just remember these things, how the different factors affecting frequency of wave in organ pipe. Just remember these things. In another class, I will explain how these factors affecting the frequency of wave in organ pipe. You just remember. The frequency inversely depends upon the length of the air column in case of organ pipe. Frequency depends inversely upon the radius of the air column in organ pipe. N depends directly upon the square root of T, that means temperature. N depends directly upon the square root of P, that means pressure. N depends inversely 1 by square root of rho. 1 by square root of rho means it depends inversely. When you increase the frequency, when you increase the density, the frequency will be decreased. When you decrease the density, then the frequency will be increased. 1 by means it depends inversely. Direct written means it depends directly. And directly proportional to V, that means V is the velocity. If you increase the velocity, then the frequency will be increased. If you decrease the velocity, the frequency will be decreased. Now we will come to the question. With the increase in temperature, the frequency of the sound in an organ pipe is found to be. Come to this relation. Now frequency N directly proportional to the square root of temperature. That means when we increase the temperature, the frequency will be increased. When you decrease the temperature, the frequency will be decreased. As N directly depends upon the square root of temperature. So when you increase the temperature, what will be the frequency? The frequency will also be increased. So option D is the correct one. Clear? Our next question is, a coil of area 80 square cm and 50 tons is rotating with 2000 revolution per minute about an axis perpendicular to the magnetic field of 0.05 Tesla. The maximum value of EMF developed in it is. What is the maximum value of EMF? EMF developed. It is asked to you to calculate the what is the maximum amount of EMF developed. First note down the given thing, what is given to you, and read the question carefully. It is asked to you, the coil is rotating perpendicular to the magnetic field. The magnetic field is there and the coil is rotating perpendicular. Okay, so the angle is 90. Okay, so what is the given things? Just write down. Area A is equal to 80 cm square. Number of turns of the coil N is equal to 50, and how it rotates? 2000 revolution per minute. Okay, ए टाइप रो क्वेश्चन आसिले माइंड पूरा घाबरे जीवो, धोखा खाई जीवो रे भाई टिके, तेणु ध्यान देकी क्वेश्चन टाको सॉल्व करिया को ट्राई करियो. हे सेम क्वेश्चन एग्जाम हॉल रे मु बसिची. आई नो ऑल द फॉर्मूला, I know all the quantities, but I cannot find the answer. Simple trick by conversion, unit conversion in physics is very important. CGS देखिलो, CGS unit अच्छी, SI unit अच्छी, सब अच्छी. First convert all the physical quantities unit to a single unit. सब जानी कि भी मो मुंडो धोखा खाई गला, कारण एरिया देइथिला 80 स्क्वायर cm, मु पुट करी चलछि 80. गलत, रॉन्ग आंसर. सो कीप इट इन माइंड. जेबे भी देखुछ जदि किछि फिजिकल क्वांटिटी तार यूनिट, किछि यूनिट फिजिकल क्वांटिटी एसआई यूनिट रे अछि, किछि सीजीएस यूनिट रे अछि, देन फास्ट कन्वर्ट द सीजीएस यूनिट टू एसआई यूनिट, अदरवाइज एसआई यूनिट टू सीजीएस यूनिट. अदरवाइज सब गड़बड़ हो जिवो, किछि भी आंसर पाइबनी तमे. ओके, so let's start. How to calculate? What is the formula? So to calculate the maximum value of EMF, the formula is NBA omega sin theta. As theta is given to you 90 degree, so sin theta value is equal to 1. So now you can write the formula like is NBA omega. N is the number of turns, B is the magnetic field, A is the area of the coil, and omega is the what is angular velocity. You can write angular frequency. So first calculate the omega. As we know N, we know B. B is given to you also. B is equal to 0.5 Tesla. क्वेश्चन सल्व होला से मूवमेंटा मो माइंड रे आस जाउची, घाबरे गली पूरा. सब जिनस अच्छी मो आगे किंतु किछि भी करि पार नथली. कोन आंसर आसुनी, कोन आंसर आसुनी, मो माइंड रे पूरा चलथिला. किंतु गोटे स्मॉल मिस्टेक मु को करथली ना, एरियाटा जो थिला स्क्वायर सेम थिला, सेटा को मते मीटर स्क्वायर को कन्वर्ट करिया थिला, किंतु मु कर नथली. नो मोर आंसर आसु नथला, मु पूरा कंफ्यूज हो जाइतली. सो कीप इट माइंड दिस थिंग. बहुत प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करले भी बेले बेले धोखा खाइबो तुम एग्जाम रे, तेणु टिके सतर्क करि देली. लेट्स गो. सो फर्स्ट वी विल कैलकुलेट द ओमेगा. वी नो ओमेगा इज इक्वल टू 2 pi by t. T, what is t? Time period. And what is time period? The amount of time taken for one revolution. And it is asked to you, what is given to you? 2000 revolution per 1 minute, which is equal to 60 seconds. 2060 seconds. 1 revolution is equal to 60 by 2000. So 0 0 cancel, 6 200 means 3 by 100. So you can write like this 0.03. So what is the T we are getting here? T is equal to 0.03. Second, time taken for 1 revolution. What is T? T is the time period, time taken for 1 revolution. T I got here. So now you can easily got the omega, angular frequency or angular velocity omega is equal to 2 pi by T. That's it, 2 pi by 0.03 omega value. So now we can easily calculate the EMF. So EMF is equal to NBA omega as sin theta sin 90 is equal to 1. So now we will write the formula as NBA omega. Just put the values. What is the value of N? The value of N is 50. B is 0.05. A is 80. Again I am repeating the same mistake. 80 cm square, it is CGS unit. So convert it to SI unit. Same mistake I did in my exam. Same question ए जगह मु 80 पकई सॉल्व करि चलछि, आंसर आसुनी. So now erase it. Just now we will convert this cm square to meter square. We know 1 meter square is equal to 10 to the power 4 cm square. So in reverse way, if you will write, then 10 to the power 4 cm square is equal to 1 meter square. 80 cm square is equal to 1 cm square is equal to 1 by 10 to the power 4 meter square. Okay, and 80 cm square is equal to 80 divided by 10 to the power 4. So you can write like this, 80 by 10,000, 0 0 cancel, 8 by 1000. If you write in decimal, we will get 0.008 meter square. So what is the area we are getting here? Now the area 80 cm square is equal to 0.008 meter square. Clear? So you have to put here. Now we will note the things, then we will put in the formula because we don't have more space. So now I am going to erase these things. So T value is 0.03 second. You got it. A value we got. Now I am erasing these things. So what is the value of A? Now we are getting 0.008 meter square. N, number of rotation is given to you 50. P is equal to 0.05 Tesla. It is a SI unit, so no need of any conversion. NBA omega, what we got? 2 pi by 0.03. Okay, so now put these all values in the formula. What is the formula? The formula is NBA omega. Okay, sin theta sin 90 is equal to 1. So NBA omega into 1 is equal to NBA omega. Now put the values. In the place of N we write 50. In the place of B write 0.05. In the place of A we will not write 80. We will write SI system meter square. What is the value in meter square? The meter square value is 0.008. And what is the value of omega? 2 pi by 0.03. So now solve. 50, just write this decimal in fractional form. 5 divided by 100, 8 divided by 1000 into 2 pi into divided by 0.03. If you will write 0.03 as a fraction, 3 by 100. So into multiplication, if you will do the multiplication, we have to take the reciprocal. So 3 by 100. When you convert the division to multiplication, we should have to take the reciprocal. So 3 by 100, we will write here 100 by 3. 2 pi divided by 3 by 100 is equal to 2 pi into 100 by 3. Clear? So cancel, 100 100 cancel. Okay, then 5 to 10, 0 cancel, 50 100 2 284. So what is the final answer we are getting here? 4 pi by 3, and V is the volt, is the unit of EMF. Volt is the unit of EMF. So what is the answer? 4 pi by 3. 4 pi by 3 volt is the answer. The maximum value of EMF developed is 4 pi by 3 volt. Okay, this is important question. Not it takes too much time to calculate, because some units are given in your CGS system and some are given in your SI system. So we should have to convert all the physical quantity to SI unit, so that you can easily solve. Or if you will wrongly take the CGS unit, then you cannot able to get the answer. Okay, I think you all are clear about the problem. We will go for the next one. Next question is the quantity which remains constant when the torque acting on the body is 0. Okay, so we know that the torque tau is equal to dl by dt, where L represents the angular momentum. We know this, the torque tau is equal to dl by dt. So, and we also know that the derivative of a constant is always 0. The derivative of a constant is equal to 0. So just relate these two things. Derivative of a constant is 0, as it is asked to you the quantity which remains constant when the torque acting on the body is 0. So tau is equal to 0. That means dl by dt is equal to 0, and dl by dt is equal to 0 when dl by dt is equal to 0. Now when if you relate this with this, we know the derivative of a constant is 0, and from the given question we know that tau is equal to 0, torque tau is equal to 0, as torque tau is equal to dl by dt. So dl by dt is equal to 0. When dl by dt is equal to 0, when this L is a constant, when the L is constant. And what is L? Now L is the angular momentum. So which factor remains constant when the torque of the body acting is 0? So the angular momentum is constant. The angular momentum is constant. Clear? Next question is, a lens is said to be diverse if the width of the beam increase after refraction through it the lens is. That means it is asked to you which one is the diverging lens. Two type of lens is there, convex lens and concave lens, and we know that convex lens is called converging lens and the concave lens is called diverging lens. And what is diverge? It is explained here. What is diverge? Diverge means the width of the beam increases after refraction, the width of the beam increases. So we know if it is the principal axis and it is a concave lens. Okay, the parallel rays of light, parallel light rays with the principal axis, parallel light rays with the principal axis, after passing through the concave lens they will diverge and they will appear to meet at focus. They will appear to meet at focus. We know it is the concept of concave lens. So the light rays parallel to the principal axis after passing through the concave lens, they will diverge and they will appear to meet at focus. Okay, or what is the meaning of diverge? The width of the beam will increase. Here the width of the beam is this much, but now the width of the beam is this much, so the width of the beam is increased. This is called diverge situation. This type of situation happens in case of concave lens. So the concave lens is called diverging lens. So the concave lens is called diverging lens. Why? Because the light rays parallel to the principal axis, after refraction they will diverge and they will appear to be meet at focus. Okay, and the width of the beam of light will be increased here. So this is asked to you, a lens is said to be diverged if the width of the beam is increases. Width of the beam increases. That the lens is called diverging lens when the light is parallel to the principal axis, after refraction the beam of the width of the beam will be increased, and this type of situation happens in case of concave lens. So which one is the correct answer? The concave lens is the correct answer. So all you are clear about these questions. So for today this much. Today we completed 10 questions and rest 10 questions we will discuss next day. Okay, in the second part. Okay, in the second part of this video you will get the rest 10 questions of the physics of the previous contractual high school teacher recruitment exam. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day and keep preparing yourself. Thank you. Bye bye.